Pasta al limone, a fantastic creamy lemon zested pasta dish that takes minutes to make, like all my favorite pasta recipes. And best of all, it's only a few ingredients. We've got some cream, we've got some lemon, we've got some tagliatelle, we've got some butter, parmesan, and a touch of parsley. First thing to get this started is get your pasta in a pot of nicely salted water. And one of the queens of Italian pasta, Marcella Hazan, she basically says that the best thing to do is go heavy on the lemon zest in this recipe because it gives you lovely fragrance and really brings this dish alive. So while that pasta cooks off, I'm gonna bring up the temperature on my pan. I've got some cream that I'm gonna add straight in from cold. And we're basically gonna bring this up to temperature with the lemon zest to infuse it with all that great flavor. So cream is in, we're gonna take up a zester and we're gonna go with all that beautiful fragrance. So I'm gonna go pretty heavy on this actually. I'm gonna go 2 to 3 lemons here. Marcella Hazan uses 4, but I'm gonna go a little bit less because I want that cream to just have a nice, delicate lemon flavor. Okay, this is coming up to temperature pretty quickly, so I'm just gonna stir this through. And you're looking for the cream to kind of reduce by about half, but you'll notice as it does, it starts to take on that lovely lemon zest fragrance. Leave that to come up to temperature. We're gonna grab our tongs and just check on our pasta. It's looking pretty good. And now, while our pasta is nearly there, it's time to get in with our butter. So I'm gonna add a little butter at a time. You've got cold pieces of butter being added to the cream. So basically, as soon as these pieces of butter melt down, you're gonna add a little bit more and a little bit more and keep whisking. So the last little butter going into the sauce here, and you can see we've got a much creamier and thicker and kind of voluptuous looking sauce at this point. So as soon as that is melted down, we are pretty much good to go. Our pasta should be cooked at this point. It all should happen in a nice little flow of motion in the kitchen right now. I'm actually gonna drain the pasta straight into the sauce, and if you do need a little bit more of that pasta water, it will help to kind of get the perfect consistency. This is pretty much where you want it to be. It should be kind of almost coating the back of a spoon. If you popped a spoon in and you kind of run a finger through it, it should hold its shape. And it tastes pretty good too. So I'm just gonna season it up a tiny touch of salt and the smallest bit of black pepper in there as well. Give that a little whisk. And to this, we want to grate in a hefty amount of Parmesan cheese. So a generous bit of Parmesan cheese. Give that a whisk in and just make sure it nicely melts through. And then essentially you have the most gorgeous, creamy, lemony, cheesy sauce that is ready for our pasta. So grab up your tongs and drain off the majority of the water as you're doing this because you don't want too much water coming across, but just enough to give you this smooth, creamy, and silky pasta sauce. Grab up your tongs and then just fold that pasta through that creamy sauce. We are in business. I mean, this is where it's at, like perfectly cooked pasta, really gorgeous glossy sauce. And if you feel like it's too thick, by all means use a little bit of that pasta water and start to loosen it out. But this is good for me, so I'm gonna serve it up straight into a bowl. Take a nice, generous tongs full. This is just proper comfort food. And you kind of have the feeling that it's a little bit fresh, so it's not completely overly indulgent, but I mean, that is a serious plate of creamy pasta. Last little touch of some lemon zest just over the top. Nice little curls just to garnish. And then I do feel it does need a little bit of freshness, so I'm gonna add a little touch of flat leaf parsley, so just roughly chop that and sprinkle it. You don't have to add the parsley here, but I do like that little hit of freshness. If you want to keep it completely pure, leave the parsley out, it's up to you. Little touch of that over the top. Last little grating of Parmesan cheese, and that for me is one of the most simple and gorgeous little pasta sauces. I'm gonna grab up a fork, do my favorite thing that we do on this channel, which is taste the food. I mean, you're talking about 5 ingredients, a handful of ingredients. Seriously tasty pasta. You got that hit and fragrance of that lemon zest, which is a powerhouse of an ingredient and just makes this entire dish. It is so simple to make, and I know you'll give this one a try. If you want the full recipe, I will leave it in the box below over on my website. Make sure you hit subscribe to this channel, ring the notifications bell, and of course, leave me a comment below letting me know if you're gonna try this fantastic pasta al limone. Now all that's left to do is tuck in, so I'll see you later. Goodbye. It was Andy, he was getting real stroppy.